Media Matters Radio, Sirius XM Left 127. Good Saturday morning to everyone. It has been quite a week, and that's why we're here Saturday morning. This is Ari Rabenhoff, joined by Brad Herring.
How you doing today, Ari?
I'm doing spectacularly. We have a big show coming up. We have Joe Strupp, who's going to be calling in from the home base in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Talking about some of his investigative reporting.
He recently interviewed Jill Abramson. That should be amazing. Mm-hmm. Then Eric Bohlert's going to call in to talk about some of the Occupy Wall Street stuff and some of his observations on Roger Ailes and his reporting he's been doing. We're going to have our normal Message Matters segment, which should be exciting as usual. Carlos Maza, the researcher from Equality Matters, will be calling in to talk about Fox's hypocrisy when it comes to gay marriage. Mm-hmm. And we're going to close the show with a big guest, Kate Shepard from Mother Jones, to talk about the Daily Caller's recent
struggles with the truth.
Yeah, I would call it more battles with the truth.
Reading comprehension problems.
Reading comprehension, poor SAT scores.
Sure,
maybe Kate Shepard will be coming in at the end of the show. But right now, we're joined by Jess Levin to tell us what happened this week in media. Jess, what did happen this week in media?
All right. Leading this week in media, a Media Matters analysis finding the disproportionate coverage media outlets dedicated to Solyndra, the solar panel manufacturer that declared bankruptcy after receiving a $535 million federal loan guarantee. The coverage surrounding Solyndra has been sloppy on part of both mainstream and conservative media outlets.
The way I kind of look at it was CNBC. So Rick Santelli has this rant, right?
Yeah.
And starts to spawn this movement. And CNBC kind of took pause for a second and was like, wait a sec. Like, they liked it for like a day. And then they were like, hold up.
Next week they were like, okay, we're not quite sure.
We don't really want to. We're a business network. We kind of have to maintain some air of like, we don't want to be down with the dirty hippies over there on the right. We kind of want to be up here pretty high. So let's take a pause. And when they kind of backed off, Fox News just jumped right in and kind of gobbled it up. And in many ways, that was to the benefit of the Tea Party because, CNBC couldn't have led a movement like Fox did.
No, CNBC was never going. CNBC was interested momentarily in hyping itself and hyping its reporter. But right, I think it was a last-minute cancellation of Santelli being on Meet the Press or something like that. They realized this isn't quite what we're in the business of doing. But Fox News decided this is exactly what we are in the business of doing. We are in the business of organizing an anti-Obama movement. The amazing thing, if you go back to the Tea Party, this is like 8 weeks after Obama had been inaugurated. He hadn't even filled out his cabinet, and there's this this national movement against him.
The EPA is in court defending this other rule, and in the legal brief, they make it very clear that they're saying they want to avoid having to create 230,000 jobs and spend $21 billion by putting in place this rule that would basically reduce the regulatory burden. And so it was EPA saying, we don't want to do this. Please let us pass this. Please let us finalize this regulation so we don't have to do it.
So the EPA says we don't want to hire 230,000 people. The Daily Caller interprets that as we want to hire. We're going to hire 230,000 people. This is pointed out to them by Media Matters, by Mother Jones, by numerous other people.
Washington Post, Politico. There's a long list of people who are
everyone kind of says this is wrong. This might be a reading comprehension problem. Maybe it was an accident. We can range it. But their response isn't to apologize.
Right.
They simply kind of double down in their response.
Well, I think by the end of the week they'd quadrupled down. I was trying to keep track, but the funny thing is that they, every time they talked about it, they tried to change the story a little bit. The second time they're saying, "Oh, well, it's just that's what the EPA is want to do. Like that's what bureaucracies do.
It's intuitive. Anybody in Washington knows that that's what they're trying to do.
Right. It's right because we say it's right.
Yeah.
This is Media Matters Radio. This is huge.